Okay, so let's just actually throw this on. I thought I would have had it all set up, but I didn't, as per usual. Okay, so sorry for the noise, Let's get this set up. There we go. Okay, so I'm hoping everybody can hear me. If anybody's here, could you let me even know in chat? I know I'm live this time, so I'm not going to be sitting around for a few minutes doing nothing, basically. But it's even... Hello, Chris. Chris, are you able to hear me okay? Just so I know and I can get started. Perfect. Okay, so we'll make a start anyway. So I've 23 slabs here beside me, all from the same batch, and I'm pretty sure some of you have seen already. Quite a lot of 10s, quite a lot of 9.9s in this batch, so I thought I'd just make a video to show this off on its own. They're all distillery books, which some of you did guess. I didn't want to give anything away because I wanted to reveal them all today, but I'll go through them. I'm going to go through basically the ones that were for customers to begin with, and then I'm going to go through what the vast majority of them are, which is ones that I just sent away myself because I thought they were too good to just sell as raws. So first customer submission is Gone issue 1, and this is just cover A by Jock. Got a 9.8, so I'm pretty sure the minimum in this is going to be 9.8. I'm going to try and work on the glare in the background because you can just see a pile of mess in behind me. But yes, first one up, 9.8, cover A for Gone by Jock. So I'm going to try and put them away in the bags as well, and then the whole idea will be, once I'm done with these, or this video tonight, I'll get these put into their boxes. So we're still in customer submissions, and up next then we have our first 9.9 of the evening, and it's the Devil's Cut, and this is basically the one shot that introduced this new publisher. So delighted to get a 9.9 in that. Very hard to see obviously with the glare because it is quite a dark book, but we can all see it up there, 9.9. How do the holders look? And the holders actually look quite good. I've had a few bigger magazine books back, and the holder looked horrendous in them, like really poor. I don't know if it's because these magazines are a bit bigger that it fills the holder well. The other ones that I've had back that were put into the bigger holder, they might have been a bit smaller and it looks really silly, but these look fine. They look really nice. All the holders are in good condition as well, which is quite good considering my last batch that came in. There was one box in particular, I had to send back 16 of them. So I was kind of worrying a bit about these coming because they do fill the box that they've been sent in. And to be honest, I don't think CGC package them well enough when they're sending these bigger magazine size. So that was one copy. Up next then, another comic for a customer is 9.9 of the exact same book, so the Devil's Cut. I can't fully remember the price in these, but I think they were roughly, I was selling them for maybe 42, maybe 43. So hard to argue with getting 9.9s back, and I'm not going to obviously say who got 9.9s, who got 10s, but I'm sure most of you will be delighted. And if, to be honest, it's one thing I haven't done over the past year is really ask people to put a word out for me. I've just sort of let the shop grow naturally, but with this results, once you get your slabs, maybe put a wee post out, help me along, maybe get a few more people involved in the slab crusade. So up next then, another 9.9, and again another copy of the Devil's Cut, and that's just the one shot that was released just to announce this new studio. So I don't know what the census says, how many there is for 9.9s. I don't know what the census says for 10s. Um, I've been checking it out on eBay and I haven't seen any. So I'm finding it hard for the ones that I've got 10s in that nobody purchased. I'm finding it hard to price, to be honest. But it's probably a good sign that there's not many 9.9s or 10s, or there might be a flood very soon. I don't know. So up next, still on customer submissions, and I believe this is the second last one for customer submissions. We've got ourselves Gone Issue 1, Peach Momoko, and it's a 10.0. This is the first time I've ever submitted something and got a 10. This is also the first 10 I've ever seen in real life. I've seen them online, obviously. So once you see the rest of these submissions, it's quite insane that I got basically so many in one go. I don't fully know if this was something to do with the whole sort of reholder scandal that was going on, that it maybe encouraged CGC to give out a few 10s. The reason I'm saying that is I've had a good look at some of these books, and personally for me, there's some 9.8s that I think look better than some of these 10s. So I'm not 100% sure what's happening here. But the way the market goes, if CGC have claimed it as a 10, it's in the case as a 10, it's considered a 10. Who are we to argue? It's basically we assign the value based on what they grade it. If they graded a 10, it's a 10. So there's not much that we can do. I'm just going to have another quick look at this one to see. This is, I think, one that is fine. Yeah, this one's fine. There is one 10 that has a bit of an error on the top right of the front cover, and again, I'm shocked it got a 10, but it did. But this one is immaculate, so that one will be going off to a customer. And again, I'm pretty sure they got this for about £40, £43, something like that. I can't fully remember the prices of them. And then to finish it off for customer submissions, or for people who bought through the Slab Crusade, we've just got Gone Issue 1, Peach Momoko, same cover, but this is a 9.9. So again, if I look at both of them, I can't see any difference in them. So I don't know how this got a 9.9, that got a 10. But then I've got quite a few 9.8 sitting here that you're about to see that I don't know how they didn't get 9.9 or 10, because they just look identical. So I'm not too sure. Personally, if I was running CGC, I would get rid of the 9.9 grade. I think it's a complete joke. It just adds so much silly things like this. So that's us done with the customer submissions. So the rest of these books then are just books that, again, I normally try to sell some raws if I get time in the Facebook group. I maybe even put a post up about these. Does anybody want to purchase them at such a price? And I'll send them off to be graded. But I just thought they were too good condition to not grade them. So I've got a few of these. Gone Issue 1, Peach Momoko again, and they're in 9.8. I can't fully remember. Let me see if I can just see that very quickly. So I've only got 4 of them out of 7. So 4 9.8s out of 7. So again, I haven't these priced up at all. I'm going to plan probably Saturday, maybe Sunday, to put them into the Facebook group. And if they don't go there, then they'll be going on to Evil Bay. And Chris, I would just hold off just in case, because I'll be brutally honest with the 10s. I'm going to price them quite high potentially, and it's a bit of a thing of I maybe don't want to sell them. I'll be happy to keep them in my store, so it sort of bumps up the Google search, the eBay searches. So don't just claim them straight away, just in case, because the price might not match what you want them to be. For the 10s anyway. These 9.8s, I'll be making sure and do a decent deal on them. But up next then we have Gone Issue 1. So it's a lot of Gone, basically. The vast majority of it is Gone. This This is then cover A by Jock, and I'm just trying to see very quickly if I can see that. Yeah, so I basically should have 5 of these in a 9.8. I'm not going to show them all in 9.8 because there's not much point. I'll maybe put up 1 or 2, but they're all the exact same cover. And I do have just a few others. Obviously I want to show a few more 9.9s and 10s, but I'll just throw this one up and just keep it up there so it can cover up my lovely new display of multiple stickers. And I'll just bag the rest of these cover A's to get them ready. So they'll be going into their boxes tonight, and then after I'm done with this video, the plan is I'm going to basically reply to the emails that I sent out last night about shipping, and get, because there's quite a few people looking things parceled, so I'm going to be quite busy the next few days. Also need to get the website updated as well with the FOC list. Well, there you go, Chris. You've just outed yourself. Yes, you are indeed one of the customers. You have got a 9.9 on your way. So bet you're well happy with that anyway. Can't complain about getting 9.9s, especially at the price that I was selling them for on that pre-order system. So that was all of the cover A's done. So I'll just put up a new slab just so it can box up or put the rest of these Peach Momokos into their bags. So I'm quite happy I was able to get chat working this time. The last video I done, there was people chatting in it, but on my screen I didn't have any chat. I didn't know what was happening, but apparently it was because I didn't go into manage streams and click go live. I just went go live, so it created a new live on the YouTube channel, and the link that I posted was sitting blank the entire time. So apologies about that, but as you can see I've got the chat up and going tonight. So on to something slightly different then, and I say slightly different because if you haven't guessed it already, it is going to be another copy of Gone. This one then, I'm just double checking, yeah, this is one that, considering the results of the other books, I'm gutted about. It is 9.8, so it's a bit of a strange world where you're gutted about getting 9.8s, but this is the 1 in 25 for Gone, and it so happened just to get a 9.8, just a silly little 9.8. So again, not 100% sure where the difference is. It's a mystery to me as well, really. Like when I seen the grades come through in these, I was a bit shocked. Yes, Chris, last week you, yeah, the CGC gods were not smiling on you. Well, not the CGC gods, the postage gods, because I think you maybe had 6 that had to go back, which is, to be honest, it seems to be every few months there's a few people, and it happens just now. It's your few months that's going to happen to you, so hopefully you pass that curse along to someone else. But it's very, very annoying whenever they come back, especially considering they're supposed to be checked by the London office, and even when they come to me from the London office, there's obvious errors in them, and it's just silly that I have to then send them back to them for them to go, oh yeah, those errors are there. But it's good that they're also doing it because they're fixing them for free, and we can't complain because the price of actually fixing these is quite ridiculous. I've been trying to price it up in a fair, nice way, but it's basically the exact same price as grading. Again, doing the whole submission again, there's like £28-29 roughly. And I'll be just taking customer submissions for grading for moderns for it's £30, but I might be changing the price of it. I just have to price up everything with the whole CGC changes. So yeah, next book up then, we'll stop showing silly 9.8s, and this one again then is one that I will have for sale, which is a Gone issue 1 by Jock, and this is a 9.9 of it. So again, haven't got any prices for them. We'll need to work that out. But if you've been a part of that Facebook group, you know I try and get things up at a very reasonable price. Daz, there is no grader notes, no. Absolutely none. So this one then, quite happy with this one. And again, this is why I'm so gutted about the 1 in 25. This is 1 in 10, and we've got a 9.9 on it. Again, fantastic grade to have on it. Yes, magazine books do tend to grade a bit higher. It's still a shock to me that I've been getting so many 9.9s, so many 10s with this first issue. I was very tempted to go off and buy 100 copies of issue 3 and send them all off and see what happens, but I don't know if I want to financially take that risk, because knowing my luck, they'd all come back 9.2s or something. I'll never be able to get rid of them. I know, what, like, they should be giving you greater notes on 9.9s, absolutely. It's a joke that they don't. So up next then, again, same comic, Gone issue 1. This then is the Peach Momoko variant, and we've got a 9.9 in it. And before I take it away, I might as well put up the next one, and it's the exact same. So another 9.9 in it. So again, brilliant results. A lot of 9.9s, and then we've got the rest of the main show, the main attraction, coming up next. So I'm not going to say who, but this one that's coming up now has been already claimed by somebody, and the only hint they'll give is they are a massive jock nerd. It's the best way to put it. That's all I'll say. So this one is already claimed by this person. Gone issue 1, cover A by Jock. Do I anticipate 9.9s increasing? Slightly. I would say slightly, Chris, in that my thoughts on their whole announcement to do with their pre-screen was something that I've always personally thought about CGC. Whenever people were paying for pre-screening and it was your 9.8 pre-screening, they would very quickly look at the book. If they see no flaws, they just give it a 9.8. But what they should have been doing is looking at that book to see if there's no flaws on it, then grading it at a 10 or a 9.9 or a 9.8. But obviously the way CGC work, they must have been severely understaffed, so they were just trying to fly through books. Pre-screening, they were just going, yep, there's no flaws, 9.8, yep, no flaw, 9.8, so they're just flying through them. Because as I've said a few times in my videos, I've said multiple times in the Facebook group, there's so many comics I send that are 100%, if we're going by the grading standard, they're 10s. There's no flaws with them at all, but they're just giving them 9.8s because it's the industry accepted standard that we all accept as comic collectors, that it's 9.8. That's the grade we want. So if you look at it from a purely business point of view, why would CGC bother? They would just go, well, if they accept that, let's just give them 9.8s if there's no flaws. So with the CGC 9.9 pre-screening, yes, we're going to see more, but I still think it's going to be hard to see 10s. I personally think they will give out 10s whenever they notice their sales going down. They'll give out a few more 10s to then bump up the sales a bit more. It's at the end of the day, they're a business. They're just going to try and make money, and that's what it's going to be. It will be interesting to see if 9.9s become the new standard for collectors. It could severely backfire if it does. You can imagine all those people who had 9.8s, they're not going to want to collect them anymore. Could crash the market, and it could crash it in a very, very bad way. So it's a very delicate game that they're playing. I would personally not like to see so many 9.9s and 10s. I think 9.8, yes, it's a good grade. It's what we're all used to. It's what they should continue with. I just think they should get rid of 9.9 as a grade and just keep it 10, 9.8, 9.6, 9.4, 2, and then start going down in the 5s that they do. We'll throw up another book. We've got another copy of Gone. I'm going to actually remove these ones just so that you can see it. It's not like you haven't seen the cover yet, but just so you can see it a bit better. The camera's sort of set up that they need to be right flat up against my lovely coloured wall. just so you can see it all its glory. It's the 10 that I'm going to have a look at and see if I can actually show it up on screen. It's the 10 that I don't think should personally be a 10, but again, CGC have this graded. And just yeah, absolutely. So newer comics, you might see some more 9.9s, but I can't imagine you'll start seeing Hulk 181s and stuff like that. Too many of them. I think the value of them in that market is too valuable for CGC to be messing with. It could open themselves up to a lot of cases, really. I severely doubt I'm going to get this on camera, but I'm going to try my best. And there's a bit of a lag in what I'm seeing and what I actually have on screen, so let me just actually see if I can get this, if I can get it right. I don't think that this is going to show up, because I think the glare is just going to be too much. Yeah, from what I can see there, the glare is just way too much. I need to figure out a way to get the comics or the slabs showing a bit better. But yeah, on the top right of that one, there's definitely a slight, small little nick. And if 10 is supposed to be perfection, or sorry, gem mint, I wouldn't classify that as gem mint. But CGC do, so who am I to argue? Then, to round things off, our final comic then is Gone Issue 1. No surprise there. And this is then the 1 in 10 variant, and it got 10.0. So very happy with that. And again, I'm going to try price them up, but again, being brutally honest, a lot of you might not like the prices on them, so they're sort of ones that I'm happy enough to hold on to, and the fact is it will simply help with the Google search engine, eBay search engine, so it sort of helps the store more near enough to keep them. But if somebody's happy enough to pay for it, look, it's completely fine. I can let it go at the prices that I'll price them at. So that's roughly it all then for this video. I'm hoping I've sent off quite a few comics before Christmas, and they have yet to arrive on the CGC system, so I'm not too sure what the hold up is there. Tracking from my end shows they're at CGC, so they should be showing up any day soon. But yeah, it's hard. There's some comics that I'd sent off after this batch that I'm waiting on that have already arrived back graded, so it's very hard to tell what's happening there with them. But yeah, I think that's roughly all. It's a nice quick one tonight, not going to take too long. But I think just one of my cameras shut off. I'll turn that back on. But just hopefully sort of enjoyed this. I'm going to try and get make these a bit more entertaining. I'm going to try and somehow figure out how to stop this lag from what I'm seeing to what's actually happening, because it does make it a bit difficult to talk about what's happening when it's not on your screen in front of you. But yes, thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. Thanks for giving me some questions to answer, so it's not just me sitting here rambling on like a lunatic. And hopefully I'll be back again in a few weeks' time then with a few more slabs, hopefully all 9.8s really, to get them unboxed. But yep, 4 CGC 10s. How many 9s? We have 3, 4. So I'm counting 7 CGC 9.9s and then the rest 9.8. So I don't think I'll ever get a better submission than that, but let's hope I do, because it would be quite insane to get more and more awesome comics like that. Let's see, what have we got going on in chat. Yes, Chris, so I'm not one for really keeping the beard all neat and tidy. I just let it grow and let it go wild. So it will, if in another month's time, if I don't shave it, it will get even worse and worse and worse. I do have a wedding coming up in a few months' time, so it will eventually be shaved, but I don't plan to shave it until close to then. So maybe around June, July, you'll maybe have a better beard than me, but at the moment, you've got some catching up to do, I'm sure. Let's just see if we got any more in chat then. I'm not too sure if I will actually have more distillery books coming back. I don't think after issue one, I think basically orders just stopped for them. So I think that's roughly it. As I said, I was tempted to go and place a massive order just for Distillery 3, just for myself. But I just thought against it because sending off 100 to get them graded, it's quite a big investment that I'm not willing to really risk the store with. The store's still quite young, still growing it. Um, so I don't want to really jeopardize the store just for the sake of an experiment like that. Maybe when I'm a multimillionaire, I'll try stuff like that and see how it goes and create YouTube videos that will make all my money back, but I don't know. Chris, I'm not too sure about Thought Bubble, simply because I don't know if I will have time to go. I was tempted to go last year, but it was very much a case of when it was coming up, all of a sudden I got incredibly busy, like incredibly busy with packaging quite a lot, so I couldn't go. But I will be tempted to try and get out to it this year, or this upcoming year. I'll just have to try and figure out something really to do. But yeah, I would love to go to it. It always seems a good crack. I see all the people on YouTube as well, what they're talking about it, and they all seem to have good fun on it. So I would at some stage like to go see what it's like. Yeah, Chris, like, look, yes, I run a store. I'm trying to sell things, but I'm not going to say that this is going to happen every time. This could be one-off fluke, so don't be banking on it that you're going to order any more of the distillery books and they're all going to come back potentially 9.910. There's maybe a good chance it might happen, but I'll never say that it's more likely to happen. I'll not even put out a post that it's more than likely going to happen. I'll not even advertise come to me because I'll get you 9.9s and 10s. I'll never do that. I can sort of only guarantee the 9.8s because I know what I'm doing. I know how to do a press and stuff on newer books. I know what to look for in newer books, but I don't know what to look for 9.9s or 10s because looking at these, I don't know the difference between them and the 9.8s really. It's just pure chance they did get these. But maybe it's worth a go, yeah, on some of those newer distillery books coming out. Put an order for What If Dracula, a white black, a while back. What If Dracula? Let's see. I can't fully remember. I think that's the Art Germ cover. I think they're maybe back, Robert. So maybe check your emails to see did you get any emails from me. They might be back, or they might have been the ones I'd sent off in two different batches, and ones are already back and the others are sort of held up. So they will be soon, I'm pretty sure. But I do remember them going. I don't have any of them left around here yet. And Chris, I'll hold you to that. I take any beer at all, really. Will do rightly, but I'll hold you to that. Let's see what's Daz saying. Have an Orslav up. Yeah, Daz. It's honestly you're going to get used to the site, and then probably in a month. I'm going to say a month, but I'm quite bad at keeping to the times when it comes to updating things because I'm normally busy with everything else. But the website's going to change eventually because it was good at the start, but I've obviously expanded into doing raws, and then I've got different types of way of slabbing it, and now I'm taking customer submissions as well, and I've got like a monthly sort of community box that I'm trying to push a wee bit more. So the website is going to change. The subscriptions as well, I've now got them set for anybody. I think Chris is in here with one. Whenever you get your new one, Chris, you'll see what way it's set up, and I quite like it now. It used to be me sending out an old style looking form, and then you would send me what you want, and then I'd send you back an invoice, and it took me so much work. This way is nice and easy. You just select what you want, and it just basically orders it. So working on so much, the website's definitely going to change. But one thing I'm always doing as I'm changing all these things on the website and doing all this, trying to get everything's done, I want to maintain the standard that I'm holding for Slab Crusade, so it always comes first, and then if I have more extra time during the week, then I'll do the extra stuff. So I've started to obviously streamline things more, hence why I'm doing the YouTube videos now, because I've got a bit more time to do them, and that's simply because I've just been working and streamlining things as best as possible. So it's always improving. So you can expect big changes coming to the website. I'm going to say at the end of February, but it'll likely be the end of February next year. God knows. uh, oh, come on, that X-Force. Like, where do I even have them sitting beside me? Let's see. Oh, sorry about that noise. Let's see. There we go. We have one right here. Why are people not buying this? Like, these are all sleeping if you aren't buying this. This is going to be cover of the year. In 10 years' time, this will be easily £1,000,000. Easily. And again, I put up 3 that I considered 9/8s. I was giving them for 38 and nobody took them. He's all laughed. And I think he's all laughed because you didn't think this was a real comic. There it is there. X-Force 48. I seen basically in the comic community basically the shit this was given when this came out. So I thought I'm going to order quite a few of them. I've had a few come in and I think they're 9/8s. So yeah, I was happy that they came in and I was happy to see the price that they bumped up to. But yeah, truly, truly awful, awful artwork. I don't know how that was ever approved. It's horrendous. Really, really horrendous. Let's see what else we got then. I really wish the streaming service would make the chat bigger. My old eyes aren't able to see it. Yes, Jay. So Jay has been a subscriber for a while. The new subsystem. It's going to get better again, Jay. I didn't like the fact that whenever you put through your subs, it all came through as one item, and they all had every single item under one tab, and it was very hard to read. So hopefully the next time we get this working, it will be individual items that you'll see, very similar to if you just added them as individual items to your basket. But I don't know, Shopify is not the easiest thing to edit. There's so many different things that you can't do unless you pay extortionate money. One of the biggest ones for me, I upload so much every week that I hit a 50,000 item limit, and unless I pay, and I'm not joking with this, £9,000 a month, I can't upload more. So unless I delete everything, so every week I have to delete hundreds of thousands of different items to then upload the new FOC each week. It was quite an eye opener whenever I was trying to price out how to get it so I can just upload as many as I want. But yeah, hopefully the new subsystem will be even better. What else have we got here then? Cheers for that, Chris. Hopefully, again, I'm going to even talk a wee bit about the subs box. Hopefully I can grow it more and more this year. I can get 1 per store variants each and every week, and the plan is I'm going to start putting them into those boxes to try and help with sales. But me personally, I'm losing, or as a business, I'm losing £1.20 per box, and that's if people aren't picking foils. When they pick foils, I'm losing a bit more. But I don't really care so much about that. I want to just get it so that the box gets bigger and bigger and grows more and more, because essentially when it gets to a certain stage, I will start to make a bit of money on it. But that's when it gets into roughly maybe about 70 or 80 being sold. But the whole idea of it is then to start unlocking ratios to get them into the boxes, and that's when it should hopefully start to take off more. Again, if 25 boxes sell, you have 6 comics in the box. All 6 of those comics have ratios available. So if 25 boxes sell, then those ratios are then going to be added randomly to one box, and it'll be one box will only be able to win one ratio. So there'll be 5 winning boxes with ratios added to them. And if it does have a 1 in 10, then there's 2 more 1 in 10s added to it. Essentially, the more that sell, the better. And my plan is eventually, once we start hitting basically about 40 boxes, I'm going to start giving a slab into the boxes. So 1 box will win a slab, and if it goes to then 80, there'll be another slab added to the boxes. So it's worthwhile. As I said, I don't really ask people, haven't asked people to do it, but I'm going to start asking a wee bit more this year. Start promoting it if you can. If you know people who are interested in things like this, get them involved with the Killer Comics show, get them involved with Triple G Comics, get them involved even going to their live shows, talking about comics. The more people get talking about comics, the better. Basically, that's the whole idea about it, is to create something that is community built, and hopefully we can get it to the point where I'm putting up a vote and we get maybe 100 people voting in one go, which would be just amazing. At the moment we're sitting there roughly about 20 votes for each of the comics that are going into it, which is still quite good for it being quite new. So just look at a few more and then I'll head on, because I don't want to be just ranting away for hours on end. Trying to open the slab. Yes, the slab boxes, these things up behind me, all the colours on them. I'm trying to figure out a way to make it easier to open. Simply because I have about 20 of them sitting off to my left that I've put in that are my own slabs that I'm planning to sell. But this was before CGC took pictures, and I'm really dreading trying to open the boxes to take them out to take pictures, because the boxes are very hard to open. So I'm trying to work on that, but I don't know if I'll be able to find a solution, because I really like those boxes. They really, really help secure slabs whenever I put them inside other boxes. So I won't change them for that fact, because they're really good at protecting things. I've sent over the past year and a half roughly about 1800, 1900 slabs, and I've had one be sent back that was broke through the post office. Some of the others that were sent back was maybe I'd missed something on the inspection, so out of about 1800, only one to be returned because it was damaged. That's quite good going, so those boxes really do work quite well. Any idea why the X-Force? Honestly, the reason this is worth the price it's going for is simply because of how horrible the artwork is. I need to get chatting to somebody who claimed to in the Facebook group, because I'm not too sure if they're going to follow through with it. Simply because when I checked location, they were in Johannesburg, and I'm not too sure if shipping's going to work for them. So keep an eye out. There might be two more going up. One of them will be able to go through a 9.8. I'm pretty certain it will be a 9.8, but if you want them just raw, it will be going back up again at that £8 price. As in, if this or Alan, if this comic is awful. No, this comic is absolutely horrendous. Like, it is, that artwork is the worst I've ever seen in my life. If I generally have never seen anything as brutal as that. Like, that is absolutely shocking. The Wolverine, his arms are just, I don't know what's happening there. That is worse than Liefeld with his Captain America chest. It's absolutely insane that this got approved. I really don't get it. Well, again, think about it from a business point of view. It's probably good because everyone's talking about it. So Marvel have done wonders there, where it's getting people talking about comics, getting them looking for the comic. There might be people now looking for more artwork that's just terrible and buying them with the hopes that it goes up in value, like this one. But yeah, truly, truly shockingly bad, considering the standards comic collectors are used to with cover art. Let's just see. Will that answer a few more? The glue on them is just, it is really, really strong. I'm trying to work on potentially getting new stickers, so those multicolored stickers that you see, I'm potentially working on getting ones that will wrap around from the side, so they'll cover the flap without me having to take the wee white bit of plastic off to reveal the glue. So I'll test that out, but I'll also be honest that that's going to be quite a long way down the line, because I maybe have roughly, I think, 4,000 of those stickers to go through. So if somebody wants to buy 4,000 slabs so I can go and try the new sticker out on them, be my guest. It will help everybody in the community, as well as yourself. You'll get 4,000 slabs. So yeah, there you go. So I think I'm going to leave it there, folks, because I don't really have much more to show. I can't believe I've actually shown this on a live stream, this horrendous comic, but there we go. He's asked for it, so he's get it. Hopefully he's enjoyed the new wall. It's better than a single black sticker. I'm really annoyed though that we've got 2 reds and 2 blues. Need to get them swapped out. Need to go buy more stickers to get different colours to fix that out. But thanks for joining. I'm now basically going to go stop this, box these up, put them in the shelves behind me, and then start answering emails. So if anybody needs me, it's probably best to just message me on Facebook for the time being. I have a lot of emails to get through, and I'm going through them from the last one right through the first. So yeah, I'll not be responding to you if you're emailing me right now, basically. So yes, thanks for watching, and hope to basically catch you again at some stage.